With Jurassic World Dominion, we now have 6 movies in the Jurassic Park franchise, so let's rank them. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one today. I'm the movie ranker, and today I'm going to be ranking all the Jurassic Park movies / World movies from worst to best. We got 6 films. The quality, for the most part, is fairly good. We hit a few lows in the franchise, but yeah, for the most part, I do enjoy this franchise quite a bit. So this should be an interesting ranking, and I recommend subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any future rankings. I try to put out at least once a week, so let's get into it. So coming into last place at number 6, we got Jurassic World Dominion, the 2022 film, the newest one in the franchise, and this might go down as the biggest disappointment in 2022 for me, thus far anyway. I was just expecting a movie with dinosaurs roaming the earth and humans trying to survive with them, right? It's not what we get at all. Instead, they add in all these stupid storylines about locusts eating crops and kidnapping going on, and it's like they totally jumped the prehistoric shark on this one. It's like it was just such a simple concept they had to grasp, and they just couldn't get it. Instead, it's very convoluted. It's not confusing or anything. There's just so many side stories going on, and none of them are real interesting. The characters are fine, but they're just okay. The legacy characters that they bring back, I feel, was just a cash grab. They honestly didn't add much to the story. It didn't feel really genuine to bring them back, like a genuine reason to bring them back. It really just felt like we need to get people in the seats for this movie, so let's bring back these legacy characters like every other film's been doing, whether we talk about Scream or the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, like, you know, Ghostbusters. Some of them do it right, like I feel like Scream and Ghostbusters did it right, and then there's other movies that don't do it as good when they bring back their original characters. And this movie is also 2.5 hours long, the longest entry in the series, and there's no need for it. And they even cut out the whole T-Rex drive-in scene that we got in the teaser. That was at the starting of this movie, but the director took it out because studio said it can't be that long and it's dragging the story. Well, I still feel like the story's kind of dragging here. And it's just one of those movies that right away, the first 15 minutes, I was kind of disappointed on how the opening started, and I never really came back. Like, I never got my excitement back throughout the entire film. I was just pretty much disappointed the whole way through. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen or anything, but it's a pitiful excuse for a Jurassic World movie. Now, coming in at number 5, we got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, I thought that Dominion, there's no way that it could be any worse than this one, but let me tell you, it was. This one was also a big letdown, but it does have its moments. The first 45 minutes or to an hour of this film is kind of like a disaster film where they're trying to rescue these dinosaurs from a volcano on the island, and it's the most emotionally driven story that we've gotten in this series, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people hate that. They don't want to see dinosaurs dying in that, but I felt like it just worked for the story. But it just seems odd that that happens halfway through this film, and then we're left with like an odd second half, which I wish they would have stuck to one thing or the other, but it is what it is. But the second half of this film does have some pretty cool moments in the mansion with the Indoraptor sneaking around like the boogeyman and just creeping everybody out and trying to kill everybody in the mansion. I thought that's really cool. Almost gives it like a haunted house vibe. And while I do like the Indoraptor going around like the boogeyman, I feel like it was kind of lazy to add him in this film, because the film right before this Jurassic World, they genetically created a new species, the T-Rex mixed with the raptor. And it's like, I feel like they're just kind of going for that again here, except they add that he goes after laser guns. Anyway, I feel like that was kind of a copy and paste idea, even though the scenarios were different. But one thing I really dislike about this movie is all the new side characters they add in. They're super annoying. They got cringe-worthy dialogue. They're always trying to be funny when they're never funny. And yeah, that's one big pain in the ass when I watch this movie is the side characters. The main cast is all right. I will say though, the little girl that plays Maisie, I believe her name is. I think she does a great job, and I don't mind her whole side story in this film. I feel like it works. I do really wish it was just about dinosaurs going around eating people with people trying to survive, but it is what it is, and I think it's done just a little bit better than Dominion. Coming in at number 4, we got Jurassic Park 3. Now, this is a film that I didn't care for in the past, but on this recent rewatch, I really started to enjoy it. And I think it's because after rewatching all the World movies and that, and how they seem to always miss the point of these films, I feel like at least this one checks all the boxes. Like, we got dinosaurs going around trying to eat people. We got the setting. We're on the island. There's quite a bit of tension. It actually gets a lot right, where before I was just disappointed in the story compared to the first two, that it kind of soured my experience with this film. But like I said, after going back to those World movies, I'm like, no, this is actually a pretty decent flick. We get Sam Neill returning as Dr. Grant, and I feel like he nailed the role again. It felt like he never left. We do get that funny scene where he like is dreaming or whatever. He looks over and the raptor's talking to him. A lot of people give this movie shit over that. I don't, because it's like a stupid little dream sequence. I do, however, have problems with the other characters, like the parents. I feel like they're some of the most unlikable characters I've ever seen in this franchise anyway. They're just obnoxious, they're loud, like always ready to get themselves killed. The mom especially screaming. I know that they want to find their son, but this isn't going to help. This is just going to get them killed. While the father is just constantly lying and just being a real a-hole. And honestly, I do not think this kid would survive on this island by himself for however many weeks he did. Especially with all these dinosaurs and that running around. It's just like, there's no way. Like, I don't buy it personally. I find it feels a little far-fetched. But I do like how near the end, this whole experience brought the family back together, and now they seem like they're tighter than ever. I do like those little messages and themes in here like that. But as for the story, it's pretty straightforward, very simple. They're going in, trying to find the kid, and then they basically want to get out. It's also the shortest runtime, so I feel like that helps it too. It's only an hour and a half, so it's an easy watch. I mean, the whole ending, the finale, does feel a bit rushed, but all in all, this is a pretty satisfying entry in the franchise. Now, cracking our top 3, we got The Lost World Jurassic Park 2. I always felt like this was an underrated sequel that doesn't get as much love as it deserves. I know it's not one of Spielberg's best films, but this is a sequel, guys. And I feel like it does a whole lot right. Like adding more to the story and the mythology of the whole thing. Adding in the second island, where it's like, oh, those are all neat and cool things I like to learn about. Whereas the newer films, they try adding in like mythology and story, how Hammond had a partner in the past, and it's like, it's stuff I don't really care about, and it doesn't really feel that believable. Where here I was like, oh sweet, I can totally see there being 2 islands. We get Jeff Goldblum returning as Dr. Ian Malcolm, and I feel like he proved that he could be the shining star in this franchise if needed. He does great as our main action lead, and the rest of our cast are great as well. We got Julianne Moore as his girlfriend, who loves dinos a little too much, and it gets them in trouble quite a few times. I really enjoy her character, and also Vince Vaughn has a pretty underrated side character in this as well, not doing his usual comedy routine here. And I also love to hate the hunters in this movie. It's like the perfect group of people you just want to get slaughtered and eaten alive, and that's basically exactly what happens to most of them. And it's such a real treat to watch them go out, because you know what they're doing is wrong. And we get a lot of cool sequences in this film, like that when the trailer goes over the cliff, the whole T-Rex scene with the baby. That's real full of tension and gets you right on the edge of your seat. Love the part in the tall grass and the raptors are going through, picking off all the hunters and such. So cool. And of course the finale with the T-Rex in San Diego. That was like my all-time mind-blowing part when I was a child. I was like, I just want to see a full-length film of a T-Rex terrorizing San Diego. which is kind of what I was hoping in Jurassic Park Dominion. I was hoping it was going to be like dinosaurs taking over the city, but it just does not happen, unfortunately. And I don't think this is a perfect film by any means, but I think it is a perfect sequel in my book. Coming in at number 2, we got Jurassic World from 2015. Now this movie just breathed fresh air into the franchise. It really rejuvenated it. I was super impressed on its release, and I still am to this day. It's really cool to see the park actually open to the public, and it's all very modernized with like new technology and such. All the new cast members are all real likable. We got Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and they all brought their A game to this role. I even enjoy the kids. They all do a fantastic job. But for me, the Dominus Rex steals the show here. He's vicious, he's sneaky, he can camouflage, and he is deadly. And that's what I love about the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park / World. I love the moment when he's like taking out all the recovery team, like the SWAT team that goes out to take out the dino. Like he's hiding in the trees and bam, you see their cameras going off, their little GoPros. I love that scene. The Raptors, on the other hand, are a wee bit ridiculous. Running with Chris Pratt like a pack with him with his motorcycle. It's just like it is dumb fun. Like I don't hate it or anything. It's gotta kind of turn your brain off for moments like that. And I would have preferred them to keep the Raptors menacing, but I guess they tried something new, which is nice to see as well. I also got to mention this scene where the pterodactyls are all swooping down at all the guests. I love that scene. I was like, I wanted more of that in this film, but what we got is still pretty great. And especially love the part where they swoop down and get the assistant and they're just like playing with her. Like it's throwing her in the air, and then that big water whale freaking dinosaur comes out and eats her. Like, probably my favorite part in the film. And I also really enjoy the whole final battle as well, with the Indoraptor against the T-Rex and the blue raptor. I think that's a great little finale to wrap it up, and it's a pretty feel-good moment. But easily coming in the first place is Jurassic Park, the original from 1993. There's no way any of these other films would beat it, in my opinion. This is one of Spielberg's best. It's a multi-blend of genres. We get action, we get adventure, we get comedy, we get some horror in there. Don't say there isn't with the T-Rexes and the raptor scenes. It's a little bit of everything, and I feel like he did the same thing with Jaws, and that's why it's another movie that is still being talked about to this day. And not many directors can pull that off, all these genres, but man, did he ever with this one. I mean, we get a very talented cast who had amazing chemistry with each other. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, I mean, everybody, Sam Jackson, like even the side characters, they're all so iconic and memorable. Even if they're in the film for just a little bit, like Newman, I can't remember his real name, the dude from Seinfeld, the bigger guy who tries screwing them over. I mean, they're all so enjoyable, whether they're good or bad. You just love to watch them. And I also love the whole parenting themes in here, whether you're talking about dinosaurs or Sam Neill's character, Dr. Grant, when he has to protect the kids for a big majority of the movie. He starts realizing that kids aren't so bad. It's just such a well thought out story. I know this is based on a book, by the way. But the world building here and to be able to put it all on screen is just phenomenal. Whether you're talking about like the Jeeps going through on the tracks and that. And there's just so many memorable scenes in here. The T-Rex scene is maybe my favorite scene in the entire franchise. I know I said that about the San Diego T-Rex scene. But man, the T-Rex scene in here is so good. It's definitely has the most tension and thrills in the entire franchise. That's a fact right there. Like when he's coming down trying to eat the kids in the Jeep and that, you're like, oh my god, it's just so intense, so crazy, leading all the way up to where the Jeep's falling off the cliff on the other side, and it's another tension-filled scene. And there's so many tension-filled scenes. I feel like that's what these other movies are missing. They're always in these life-threatening situations. You gotta also love the whole raptor scene where they figure out how to open doors and they're like sneaking around, like basically almost like slashers trying to take out the kids in the kitchen. And it's like, my god, this is just brilliant. This movie is just the entire package. It checks all the boxes. It's a perfect film. 10 out of 10. My personal favorite Spielberg movie, and it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And it begs the question, should we be messing with DNA of creatures that went extinct? Quick answer, no. Stay away from that shit. We should not be playing God. And that is a big message in these films.
So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking of all the Jurassic Park / World movies from worst to best. Just my opinion. I want to hear yours though down in the comment section. What's your favorite, your least favorite? How do you rank all 6 films? Let me know down there in the comment section. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Again, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.